Hello everyone, you're welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I share with you how I prepared this delicious and mouth-watering seafood okra soup showing on your screen. This recipe is one you don't want to miss. Kindly sit back, relax and watch to the end because you will love this one. And please don't forget to give this video a huge thumbs up. Without wasting much time, let's get right into it. I'll use snail for this soup, and here I have some snails. These have been washed and cleaned thoroughly, as you can see from this video. They've been cleaned thoroughly. I also have stockfish. This is the fleshy part of stockfish. The snail and the stockfish will add a lot of flavor to this soup. I also have some scotch bonnet peppers. This is atarodo. I have the yellow and the red atarodo peppers. These different colors of peppers will add different flavors to this soup. I'll start by steaming my snails and the stockfish. And to season this, I went in with some of the peppers, the mix of the red and the yellow atarodo pepper. I also added 2 seasoning cubes and the little salt, and then I added enough water. The water I get from this will serve as my soup base. Once I have all the ingredients that I need to steam my snails and stockfish inside the pot, I'm going to give it a good stir to combine, and then I'll let it cook for about 10 minutes. I'll come back to check on it after 10 minutes, but while that is cooking, I will show you the rest of my ingredients. I'll be using croaker fish for this soup, and these have been cleaned thoroughly. I also seasoned them with some salt and seasoning cubes. My vegetable of choice for this soup is Uziza leaf. I've heard that Uziza leaf is the best vegetable when making seafood okra. I'm going to give it a try and see if what I've been hearing is actually true. Now, the main ingredients for today's recipe is okra, and I have some fresh okra here. As you can see, it's looking so fresh and green. I have some smoked catfish. This will add a lot of flavor to the soup. I also have shrimps. These have been cleaned thoroughly, and I seasoned them with a little salt and some seasoning cubes. I have prawns. These two have been cleaned thoroughly, and I also seasoned them with some seasoning cubes and salt. I'll show you how I clean my prawns. I start by running a knife through the prawn, and then I'll take out the vein. It looks like a thread or rope at the back of the prawn. I do this for all the prawns before I season them. This is one of the advantages of home cooked meal, because you get to choose what goes inside your meal and what does not deserve to be inside your meal. We try to make it more hygienic. We cannot always say the same for store-bought foods. So once I've taken them all out, I'll wash them and season them, and I usually season with just some seasoning cubes and salt. The next ingredient I'm going to prepare now is the okra. This okra is looking so green and fresh. This is what you should go for or look out for whenever you want to prepare okra soup. Okra doesn't stay fresh for a long time, so it is best that you buy a day before or on the day you're to use it to make soup, so it remains fresh with the sliminess intact. Because the sliminess of okra or the sliminess of okra soup is determined by the freshness of the okra. I'm going to slice the okra into 2 different shapes. I'll slice one in 2 big chunks, while I'll cut the other one into very thin slices. I'll tell you the reason for this later on in this video. So please do not go anywhere and watch to the end. I've finished slicing them up, and this is what I have. The plate on my left contains the big chunks of okra, while the plate on my right contains the thin slices of okra. I'll pound the ones I cut into big chunks. This will help the soup to become more slimy. I'm going to pound this with my mortar and pestle. For those that don't know what this is a mortar and a pestle. Another way of doing this is to grate the okra with a manual blender. Either way, you will get the same results. Now, this is what it should be looking like after you've finished pounding. I'll transfer this into a plate and I'll set it aside. It's been 12 minutes since we left the snails and the stockfish to cook, and it has been cooking really well, as you can see from this video. So I'll just give this one last stir and then bring it down. In a different pot, I'll add some palm oil and I'll allow it to heat up before going in with some chopped onion. I'll saute the onion for about a minute to allow the onion release its flavor into the oil. Next, I will go in with my pounded pepper. I went in first with the yellow pepper before the red pepper. Adding the peppers separately will help you build a lot of flavors because both peppers have different flavors. They have different tastes that they are bringing to this dish and you want all of them. And I also want to add that yellow pepper is one of the ingredients you do not want to skip whenever you're making seafood okra. I let this fry for about 5 minutes and then I went in with some seasoning cubes and salt and I fried for an additional 2 minutes. At this point, it smelled really good inside my kitchen. The aroma was so good. I'm not even joking. Who else loves the aroma that comes from frying onion, peppers, and palm oil? I added the stockfish, snails, and the stock I got from cooking them inside the pot, and I gave it a good stir to combine. This soup is really delicious. I'm not even joking with you. This is one of the easiest soup, and it is also so healthy. I let this cook for about 2 minutes, and then I gently placed the fish inside the pot. Croacker fish does not require a long time to cook properly. You should be ready in about 3 to 5 minutes. If you're still watching to this point, thank you so much for staying with me. If you're new here, my name is Oge. A warm welcome to you. Please don't make it your last time. Kindly hit the subscribe button and also turn on the post notification so you don't miss out on any of the amazing videos I upload. You love it here. And to my returning subscribers, you guys are the best. Thank you all so much for always coming back to watch my videos, for the comments, the likes, the shares. Thank you all so much for your support. I'm so grateful. After cooking for about 3 minutes, I took out the fish. This is just to give me enough room for mixing. This is just so I have enough room to stir the pot properly, especially after adding in the rest of my ingredients, and also to prevent the head of the fish from scattering inside the pot. At this point, you might want to add extra water, but the water you add should be determined by or on the amount of okra you're using, and also on how thick or slimy you want the soup to be. Right now, I'm placing the prawns inside my pot. I'll add all the seafood I'm using. I'm basically using just prawns and shrimps. This is a good time for you to add any seafood you're using, like crab, lobster, calamari. If you're using them, this is the right time for you to add them. After adding the shrimps, I added some crayfish. This will add a lot of flavor to this soup. I don't make soup without crayfish. So once that is inside, I gave it a good stir to combine, and then I also added the deboned catfish. To debone the fish, I added hot water and I let it soak up for about a minute. This made the deboning process a lot easy for me. The soup is still looking thick, so I added a little water to loosen it up. You can also taste and adjust your seasoning if necessary. I let this cook for about 3 minutes. After 3 minutes, I went back to check on it and it is boiling really well. Next to go in is the pounded okra. It should take about a minute for you to break and separate the okra. This will help increase the sliminess of the soup. Once that is done, I added the thinly sliced okra. The soup is 90% cooked at this point. Once your okra is in, the soup is 90% cooked. So I gave it a good stir to combine. You can see the face of this soup, the color, the thickness, everything is on point. I know most of you are salivating already. For the sake of people that do not know, there is Uziza seed and Uziza leaf, and they both add different flavors to your pot of soup. You can choose to use both or just one for this seafood okra. I chose to use the leaf. After slicing up the leaf, I added them into my pots and then I gave it a good stir to combine. I let it simmer for about 3 minutes, turned off the cooker and brought it down. And this pot of yummy goodness is ready to be served and enjoyed. I know you'll be trying out this recipe. You have to, because this recipe is definitely a hit and I'm sure you would love it. Try making this seafood okra soup with the recipe I just shared and you'll be glad you did. Everybody in your family will love it and they will keep asking for more. I added the fish back into the pot and I gave it a good stir to combine properly. And now it's time for me to dish this into my plates. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Thank you all for stopping by and I would love to see you all in my next one. If you've watched up to this point, thank you so much for staying with me. Bye.